Hello everyone, and welcome to a lab demonstration tutorial video here, and where I'll be using Microsoft PowerPoint to introduce you to Microsoft PowerPoint presentation software. And really we'll just be going through setting up a presentation and using some of the many features available to you in Microsoft's presentation software. Let's go ahead and jump right into the lab and get started. A lot of times when you go to use a lab or a template or a file that's downloaded from the internet, you'll get this protected view message up here, and if you want and you know it's true that it's safe and you want to use it, obviously the only way you can move forward is to enable the editing button to let you get into the file to be able to use. So I'm going to go ahead and click enable editing now, and now I have my file from which I can start using some of the PowerPoint features in. Now this is pretty plain and boring. What I want to do is go ahead and use one of the built-in themes to give this a little bit of formatting and flair. So if I go to the design tab up here on the PowerPoint ribbon, I will see that I have lots of themes available. I want to select the retrospect theme, and you'll notice that as you hover over these you will see the names for those, and here I have the retrospect available to me on the very beginning. If I want to, I can go down one at a time, or I can use this more button to select and be able to scroll through the many themes, or I can browse for themes, or if I've created one I can save a current theme. But as I said, I want to use the retrospect theme, and these are all in alphabetical order. So if I just kind of hover over them and I know that here is quotable, I know that I'm either going to have another Q, R, or S after that. So I'm going to click the retrospect theme, and now that's been applied. Now I have this theme that's pre-built I can use, and whenever I insert a new slide, I'm going to have options that are going to be applied with this theme. Well, this is a good theme, but I want to also use some of the other tools that are available here. So I'm going to change the theme colors, the background style, and the theme fonts. So if I go up here to the theme colors, I can drop this down, and there I have the ability to arrange for different colors. And I said I want to do yellow orange. So if I stay on colors here with my mouse and I scroll over here, drop down, and there is my yellow orange, you can see how that got applied. If I wanted green, you see how those show me what they're going to look like. But I want to go with yellow orange for my theme color. I'll select that by clicking on it. Now that's been applied. Now I also said I wanted to change the background style. So let's go to background styles here. And the one I want to use here is style 6. If I scroll over here carefully and start hovering over these, you can see that it shows me what that style is. So I'm going to select style 6. And the theme font I'm going to choose is Arial, Black Arial. So if I go take a look at this, I see that here are my fonts. And as I said, I want to do Arial, Black Arial. If I gently scroll over here, I can see that I have lots that I can select from, and all I need to do is simply scroll through until I find the Arial Black Arial. And you can see that down here is that font that I want, Arial Black Arial. Just hovering over them, I can see what it's going to look like, and I do like this one, so I'm going to select that. Now I've selected and made my theme option changes. Next thing I'm going to do is take a look at my display slide, and I'm going to put in some information here. In my title area, if I just click in here, it becomes available for me to title however I want to title it. And for this one, I'm going to type in Pedestrian Safety Matters. So I've applied that. Now I'm going to add a subtitle here, and I'm just going to type in Keeping That New Year's Resolution to Be More Active. So I'm just going to type that in real quick here. Now as you see here, as I'm typing in the word active, the formatting has got all of my letters capitalized for me. I didn't have to hold the shift button or have the caps lock button enabled on my keyboard. It was pre-formatted in here for me. Let's change the case of this section that I just typed in here in my subtitle. So I'm going to go to the Home tab here. I'm going to go over to the font group here on my Home ribbon, or Home tab, drop this down here, and you can see I'm going to capitalize each word. You can see how that is applied based on which one you are hovering over. You can see I did start with uppercase. Now I'm going to jump down to capitalize each word. I could have toggled the first letter of every word to be in lowercase, or I could make everything lowercase. Very quick and easy to do. So I'm going to choose capitalize each word. Now I can move on to my next thing I want to do here, and with this I want to insert a picture into my slide here. To do so, I'm going to click outside of that so nothing's active. Go up here to the Insert tab. Now I'm going to go to Pictures because I have the picture saved here. So I'm going to click Pictures. And I've got my pictures saved here for this project. And you can see I have a couple available here. And I'm going to select the one that I want, that I feel is more appropriate here on this first slide. So I'm going to select the Walk 01 file here. And then I can insert that into my image, and I can then make some changes to it if I like, based on how it looks. So I can already tell I don't really like this. So I can resize my placeholders, and you can see here in the Format tab is now available for my pictures. So I can make lots of different changes. I've got several different groups of items here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the height to 7.5 inches, and I can simply click in here, and I could use the up and down arrows, or I can just highlight it and type 7.5 inches there. I could also choose how I want to align this. So I'm going to click outside of this. So there's my 7.5. Now that if I click on this, I can get those options back. So if I click on this here, my Format tab becomes available. Now I can look at how I want to arrange this and any of these other groupings that I want to select from to manipulate this image and the aesthetic view of this slide. So I'm going to go up here to my Arrange group, and I'm going to drop down the Align button here. And for this one, I want to align it to the top and left. And this should give us room for our text on the right. So I'm going to align it to the top first, and then I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to align it to the left. Now I'm going to see if there's anything else I need to do to change this so that I can actually see my text, which obviously we want to do. So I'm going to select my text box here, and I'm going to align that text to be to the left, and then I'm going to drag my handles here. Oops, I made a mistake, so I'm going to undo there. Drag this over so that it is just left of my image. And you can see when I'm touching the image, it is real close, so that's those dotted lines will show up. And this doesn't look real great, so I want to grab the other handle here on the right and space that out a little bit. Now you can see that it is in fact each word per line. And I can't see everything here, so I'm going to do the same thing. Let's align that to the left, or you can do align text. It's probably what, but I'm going to do arrange, align, left, drag this over so it touches. Keeping the New Year's resolution to be more active. I want to put active up here, so I'm going to go over here to the right side, drag that over until I see my word. Now that looks much better. I would like it to be a little bit more to the right of the picture, so if I select one box and then I hold my control button, I can select the other box. Now I can treat them as one unit, and I can use my arrows to create a little bit of white space in there between the picture and my text boxes. So now I can click outside of that, and everything looks a little bit better to me. Hopefully yours looks the same, and this is really just getting the concepts of how to move things around and make sure that your presentations are aesthetically pleasing. Now sometimes you've created work and you want to reuse that work, so I'm going to reuse some slides from another presentation. So we're going to use the feature that's built into this presentation software where we can open the reuse slides pane and browse and see where our files are so we can now use those. So if we go up here to the Home tab, make sure that's selected, go to New Slides, drop that down, and you guessed it, Reuse Slides. Now you can see we have 5 slides here available. I'm going to reuse all 5 of these slides. So you can just make sure that you select all of those, add those, and now you'll have 6 slides to your active presentation. So I'm just going to right click here, insert all slides, and now all 5 are there. I can close this and I can see that I have multiple new slides. Let's go ahead and let's look at this second one here. You can see we've got these little red squiggly lines. That tells us that we have some spelling or grammatical errors in our presentation. We'll fix those here shortly. Because the first mistake I want to take care of as I look at this is I see that here in this list of items we've got 2 that are on the same line. So if we put our insertion point right here before guard, hit the enter key, now we've got all 6 of these items from this take a walk list shown here, and it looks a lot better. Let's go ahead and correct all of our spelling errors. If we go to the review tab here, we see spelling, we click on spelling. Now we can go through and anywhere that it sees that we have an issue, let's make sure it's really an issue, and then we can take the suggestions, and I know that aggressive is spelled wrong, so I want to accept that, so yes, please change. Remember is definitely not right. We see it's asking for the singular or plural. We know that it's remember, sunscreen, so we're going to hit change. If one of these came up that we're like, no, that's correct, we could ignore that. Now if I had my name here and it doesn't recognize it in the dictionary, I could hit ignore all, and that way it would not come across in any other instances of that. So I'm going to change this. Regardless, we're going to change that, and cloudy should definitely be cloudy here. So accept that, and pedestrians is definitely not spelled right. It's not possessive, so we're going to make sure to take the one that it suggested first. Alright, it says everything looks good, so we have corrected all of those spelling issues. Now let's say we don't like the order that we have listed here on our left for all of our slides. I'm going to deselect that. Well, we can go to the slide order option down here. You can do it here, you can go up to view. I like this one. And we can select a slide and drag it around to position it in the way that we want it to look. So let's go ahead and move some of these around. Okay, I like to take a walk. Let's see, respect your surroundings, wear the right outfits. Let's move the respect your surroundings to be our 3rd slide here. So I will just select it, hold on with my left click, bring it up here, and you can see it bumps the other one right out of the way. Now let's use caution. Safety's always last, even though it should be first, right? Let's go ahead and make that change now. Now we have our 6 slides all rearranged. Let's go ahead and go back to our normal view down here. So we select normal, and you can see I am on the slide that I had selected in my slide order view there. So here on this slide here, on slide 6, let's go ahead and make a little bit of change here, and let's insert a picture. Let's see, we'll insert that other picture that we had. So we're going to go to insert, picture, and we will use the walk 2 picture. We're going to insert that here onto this slide. Okay, we know we're covering some text, so we probably ought to make some changes to make our slide aesthetically pleasing. So let's go ahead and change this size. I don't really like that size. Let's change the height to 7.5 inches. We'll be consistent with our other picture. Hit enter, and now our picture is very large. Let's go ahead and let's do some repositioning of this picture. So let's get that to the top right. We'll kind of bring this picture over here. So with our picture selected and our format tab becomes available, we're going to go up here to our arrange group, drop down the line, and we're going to go left. I'm sorry, we're going to go right. The other left. So align right, and let's go up. So we're going to align top, and now our position is much more pleasing. We'll deselect that. Now our picture looks good. Let's go ahead and add a footer. Let's apply it to all of our slides, so it doesn't matter which slide we go to. So let's just go to the insert group or insert tab. and we are going to go over to the text group, select header and footer. Now we're going to check the checkbox here for footer. Let's type in the words, let's type in a little bit here, pedestrian safety matters, and we'll go from there. Now let's apply this to all of our slides except for the title slide. So we're going to check this checkbox here, don't show on the title slide, apply to all. Now we'll see that footer is there, but if we go back to our title slide, it is not shown there. So that is a great thing to do there. Now that it looks much cleaner by just having it on our supporting slides rather than our title slide. Now when we're presenting, we know we need to make some transitions, so let's go to the transitions tab up here, and we're going to use the push transition so we know what that's going to look like. So every time we move from one slide to the other, that's how it will look. Well, I don't like the bottom to top, so let's change our transition effect here, and we're going to do that instead from the right rather than from the bottom. So now you can see how that comes in from our right side. Let's go ahead and apply this to all of our slides. So we're going to select here in our group here, we're going to select apply to all. Now to make sure we did it right, let's go ahead and go to our slideshow view here, and we'll go from one slide to the other, and you can see it is in fact going from right to left as it's transitioning from one side to the other. Now to get out of this, all you have to do is select the escape button, or you could right click and end your show, but I like to use the escape button, and that gets me right back to where I want to be. Whatever slide was active in your show, that's where you're going to come back to, and you can see your slide pane over here. I'm right where I left off. Now we've created this presentation, we've put all of our hard work in. Well, we want to take credit for that, so let's go up here into our backstage view and add some properties to our file. So if we go here, go to our backstage view, now we can see we have some different properties here. We want to add some. Let's put a title to our slide so it's not just PowerPoint presentation. Let's make this, you guessed it, pedestrian lives or safeties, pedestrian safety matters. And we want to add a subject here, and we'll end with our authoring. So let's go ahead and we'll do the author here. Let's just put a name here, Anna Lorenzo, and it may if you're in a network, it will look for those names. And obviously I couldn't find that, so I'll just keep typing. There is Anna Lorenzo. I can check outside of there. Now it shows that I'm the last one that modified it, but the author is Anna. We can also add, as I said, we can add a subject, and you can see if you don't see everything you want, if you click on the Show All Properties button, now you have lots of other options, and there is my subject. Now I'm going to put in the subject is active lifestyle. I've got that done. Close my properties box, and now I can, if I feel like I'm done with it, I can save. If you want to save it as a different format such as PowerPoint or an actual show so that every time the file is opened, you can go to the Save As and choose those options. I'm going to save it as I've completed it, leave it the name that I've given it, and now I have a presentation that is complete and ready to go to my audience. Now of course these are just some basics to get you started using PowerPoint, or you can apply a lot of these skills to other presentation software as well. I hope you found this video helpful in getting you started in creating your first presentation, or maybe reintroducing you to some skills you might have forgotten, or even learning some with the newer versions of PowerPoint. As each new version comes out, we get new features, so maybe you'd never seen some of the features I used in this video. Thank you for following along, and I hope you found this helpful.